Congratulations, Las Vegas. You deserve this, but this team went out and earned it, Matt. They earned it. They earned every win of this series and this playoffs, and now the Vegas Golden Knights are playing for a Stanley Cup. Matt teared up. I'll go ahead and say it. He was celebrating
absolutely.
like crazy. I teared up a little bit, but I mean, Matt, can you believe this?
No, I absolutely cannot believe this. Even though we have been on this for, I mean, how long have we been saying this team can make a cup run? Legitimately, December, probably the Tampa Bay game, which could end up being, now we can say, their opponent in the Cup Finals. I think since that game, we've really been like, okay, this could happen. I remember walking out of the arena after that game. That was the game, if you remember, Shea Theodore scored the goal with, what, 2.7, 2.3 remaining to win that game. At the time, Vegas and Tampa had the best records in the NHL on each side of the league. And I walked out with Jason Pothier from Sinbin, and we started talking about, you know, potential and at the end of the year and who they could meet in the final. And then we stopped and said, we're actually talking about this team playing in a Cup Final. It's only December. Here we are, and it could be the Tampa Bay Lightning that we're playing against. This is a dream come true. How long have we waited for a pro franchise? For almost 4 decades. And in the first year that we have one, they're out there celebrating going to the Cup Finals. I'm in awe of what we just got to witness.
It's absolutely unreal. So here, we'll flip it around. They've got the Western Conference Final champion. Derek England is holding on to the trophy, which so no superstitions, right? And Vegas has pushed back against this over and over and over again, right? So I guess I'm not surprised that Derek England is touching the Western Conference Championship trophy. That's pretty amazing, and that makes a statement about what this team's been about all season long. Look at what he's doing right now. That's unreal, and it's so anti-NHL, and that's what Vegas has done all year long. I think this is an awesome moment that you're seeing here live right now.
They deserve it. Let's be honest. They deserve to pick that trophy up and skate around with it, because nobody, absolutely nobody, thought that this was even remotely close to being possible. Not when they announced that they could possibly come here. Not after the amazing ticket drive. Not after they announced that the team was here for sure. Not after they named the team. Not after the expansion draft. Nobody said that this was possible. And then they go on an 8-1 run to start the season, and they have not stopped since.
So we've got the possibilities here. You know it already. If Tampa wins this series, Vegas does not have home ice. If the Capitals come back and win that series, again, Caps down 3-2 in that series.
Hey, go Caps, right?
Right. So now you should be a Capitals fan so we can host Game 1, which looks like it's going to be Saturday or Sunday, right? I believe that the next series or that other series, even if it goes 7 games, it would end on Thursday, I believe. They'd have an off day, and then they fire up the Stanley Cup Final on Saturday. Matt, we're going to Stanley Cup Final.
Is this real? Is this real life?
We've been covering this team since the beginning, right? And the expansion draft was cute, and it was fun. And then again, as you say, you know, they come out to this hot start, and I'm just going back in my mind to all these games at T-Mobile Arena that I go to, and they win the game, and we're shaking our heads like, this team's for real. This team's for real. And we can't really absorb it and take it in. And now, I mean, it is here. This team is for real. It's been for real for a while.
Yeah.
But now the nation knows. And the way they played in that third period, again,
God.
if you have any doubts to this team, they out-hustled the Winnipeg Jets for that last 20 minutes of this game.
Took a penalty and still were able to control the puck. Great penalty kill by them early on in the third period. And you know what? We have to say it. Shout out to Tony, to Scott, to our buddy Tommy White from the Laborers Union. Ryan Reeves is their boy, man. They love Ryan Reeves. Ryan Reeves has not scored a goal as a Golden Knight. He's had 2 points as a Golden Knight.
1 point.
Game-winning goal. Ryan Reeves on a tip-in. That, again, we saw him working on this week. Game-winning goal in what is now 3-0 game-clinching games. Series-clinching games for the Golden Knights. They are 3-0 in a series clincher, and Ryan Reeves gets the game-winning goal to send the Golden Knights, our Vegas Golden Knights, to the Stanley Cup Final.
So I want to know if anybody watching has an actual bet on the Golden Knights to win the Cup. A buddy of mine, he was actually here at Henderson Pavilion. They threw a great party. We chatted with Danny Tarkanian for a little bit. That's on our timeline here. You can talk to him about his comparison to the 90 Runner Rebels, to what's happening with this team. Great comparison from him. But my buddy here said he put $10 on the Knights at 150 to 1. $1,500 on the line.
Yeah.
I mean, and it's here. Like now, I'm jumping up and down.
It's insane. I got a buddy I work with. Is it $50 or $100 bet at 100 to 1? I said, "Are you going to hedge?" He goes, "I'm letting it ride, man." So, I mean, there you go.
And I didn't pull the trigger on it, Matt. I didn't do it. I didn't do it at the beginning. I'm like everybody else. And if you really thought that this team was going to go out here and win a conference championship and play for the Stanley Cup, I think you're on drugs or you are hallucinating. Because there was nobody. And the team, to reach this point, give me a break. They thought that they were a playoff team when nobody else did, and now they're here, and they did it with hard work, they did it with execution, and they did it with this kind of dogfight mentality that no other team has shown us, and we've watched every other team this season.
You know, it's a funny thing because every team in the NHL knows how to forecheck. Every team knows how to support the puck. And somehow, some way, the Knights just seem to do it better than everybody else. They're so relentless in their pressure. And we saw it to start the game, the first 10 minutes. We saw it throughout the second period, a little more even second period, but they were the aggressor and they got the goal. And then the third period, they just refused to be denied. They were not going to lose this game. They weren't coming back to Vegas, allowing Winnipeg to have any momentum. They shut them down. They controlled the puck. I mean, how long did it take? We talked about it with about 3 minutes to go. So when do you pull Hellebuck? About 2.5 or so? We both agreed. Again, not till a minute and a half were they able to get him out of the net. They just would not allow them to enter the offensive zone with the puck. It was amazing.
Yeah, and if you're a Jets fan, again, congrats on what they were able to do this season. But if I were a Jets fan, I would be extremely disappointed in the way that their team played with the season on the line. And again,
Mike Wynn, we love you, man.
Yeah, I mean, it shows you how good the Vegas Golden Knights are. You're talking about a Winnipeg team that's bigger than Vegas, just as fast than Vegas, and was beaten soundly. 4 straight wins Vegas gets against this Winnipeg team. And everybody thought, the majority, overwhelming majority of experts out there thought Winnipeg would win this series just based on their size, based on their powerhouse nature, based on the home and ice advantage. And Vegas still pulls off the series win. There's no reason to think, again, if you're outside of Vegas, whatever, there's no reason to think this team will not win the Stanley Cup.
Well, let's look at this. For the Knights to lose the Stanley Cup Finals, they'd have to lose 4 games. They've only lost 3 in 3 rounds of the playoffs. They went 4 games with the Kings in the sweep, 6 with the Sharks, should have been 5, let's be honest, because of that overtime reversal goal, and then 5 games against Winnipeg. Let's not understate that. 5 games against what most people consider the best team in the league heading into the playoffs. They were phenomenal down the stretch. They beat the Predators, who had the best record in the league, most points in the league, in a 7-game series on the road, no less, in Nashville. Here we go. 5 games, and they just dismissed them. It's amazing. What this team has done is nothing short of amazing.
Yeah, and just like every other city, Vegas now, or every series, Vegas now has time to rest. They can sit back, they can enjoy it. Somebody was speculating about some pulled muscle on Marc-Andre Fleury. I'm not sure if they said it on the telecast or what the deal was, but some people noting that Marc-Andre wasn't moving as quickly as he usually does. Another outstanding game from him, clearly, but he has time now to rest up this quote-unquote possible injury that he has. So.
Yeah, let's go Caps, force a Game 7. Really drag this thing out and beat each other up and let the Knights heal up. Little slow start to the series with the one game. Oh, by the way, it reminds me, first time all year Winnipeg has lost 4 games in a row.
My family's leaving me. They're just departing. They're running away. I'm gonna wait.
I give you a ride home, John.
I know.
First time all season Winnipeg has lost 4 games in a row. I mean, there's not enough superlatives out there to speak of this team. They've just been fantastic.
I'm John. This is Matt. Sports Adrenaline Las Vegas. You're just hopping on this video, and you're like, who the hell are these guys? We've been covering this franchise since before they were a franchise. Give our page a like. We've been giving you content all season long, and we'll continue to do that throughout the Stanley Cup Final, because I am relatively certain I'll be there. I don't have 100% certainty on my credential request, but I should be there, and we'll continue to cover practices. So give us a like, and you'll be able to get some local insider knowledge. You don't need to follow the national outlets. We're pretty smart guys, and we're just like 5% homers, right? 5%. Well, I mean, okay, 10% maybe with the gear on.
Right now, I'm going to be the biggest homer use for the next several days. I'm going to be a huge. We have the potential at looking at our second parade in the last 30 years. It's been that long, John, 1990. So, I mean, we're almost there, right? We're this close. I can't wait to see it.
We got to wrap it up. We're getting kicked out of the pavilion. But again, to state what I said at the beginning, Vegas, you deserve this, but this team earned this. Congratulations, everybody.